Hi, my name is Dennis Murphy. I own Independence Business Consulting, IBC. If you want to learn how to help your business, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. IBC is a small business consulting firm. We do startups, business plans, mergers, acquisitions, all types of commercial lending and small business consulting. In today's video, we're going to talk about starting a business post-pandemic. So employees have been displaced for a multitude of reasons over the last year and a half. Obviously, some businesses have shut down completely. Some businesses have just kind of whittled down on their employees. But it's interesting. Today we live in a world where we outsource our talents anyway. There's different platforms like Upworks and things like that where we can go out and we can say, hey, I have this skill, and then people will pay us on a freelance basis. So that's kind of led to more and more people venturing out on their own. And we've helped hundreds of those people. Starting a business in the post-pandemic era isn't that much different than starting at any other time. So one thing that when people come to me, they'll have a huge business plan. It might be 30 pages long. You want to keep it to roughly a 10-page pitch deck. That pitch deck, will hit the highlights. You want your financials on there, you want your projections on there, but then you want to be able to explain those projections. That can be the crux of this, and then if you have your bio, if you have industry information, you can do links on there that the reader can click to and get more information. But you want them to be able to go and quickly delineate the information and say, okay, I like this, let's move on and get more information, let's get a meeting with this person. Do your research. So often you know one part of the business, but not the full business. So if I'm really good from a sales standpoint, but I don't know accounting and I don't know operations, that's going to be an issue. But if I research the industry I'm in and I know what it's going to cost to hire those people, I can now go back in my pitch deck, and my projections will include realistic numbers on what it's going to take to run this company, what my revenue sources are going to be, and then the overhead that it's going to take to facilitate that revenue. You got to know your numbers. So often people come in and it's the hockey stick effect. I'm going to make $2 million in 18 months from now. So that's not how it works. And again, you want to go and you want to do your research. What's typical for my industry? So oftentimes you open a franchise, you make very little money. That second franchise that you open up in year 3, you make a good chunk more. When you open number 5, number 6, that's when you really start to take off. So your numbers need to reflect that type of thing. Again, what are your revenue sources? You might have 3 to 10 of those sources. Then you've got to look at what is it going to take to facilitate those numbers. I got to pay taxes. I've got to have a place, a storehouse, a warehouse. I've got to have an office. I've got to have employees. All of those things. Make sure your numbers mesh with industry standards. Get your financing in place. So often people go out and, it's going to be great. I'm going to do it on a shoestring budget. We've all heard those stories. Reality is, you know your numbers, you get your business plan, you go get your financing from an institution or from an investor, and now it's in place. Now you have the security to say, okay, it's going to take this much in startup costs to get me to a point of ribbon cutting where I actually start making money. When you get to that point, you got to have enough runway. So often people will say, okay, it's going to take $1 million to do this business. They put in their own money, they get the rest of it from investors or institutional funding, and they have their $1 million. They open the doors, it doesn't come as quickly. The revenue doesn't come as quickly as they anticipated. They might have invoices out there that people are late on paying, but they still have all of their overhead. I still have to pay my people. I still have to get more inventory. All of those things don't stop. My business has to keep going. So always have, really it should be probably 3 to 6 months of additional cash flow. Keep that capital in the bank. If you end up not needing it, fantastic. If you do need it, thank God it's there. If it's not there and you need it, you don't want to be done before you start. And I've seen that happen way too often. So make sure you have that 3 to 6 months of working capital. Thanks for checking out our video today. Hopefully the information we laid out here today was helpful in your efforts to start your own small business. If you would, comment down below on some of the obstacles you're facing while you're getting your own small business off the ground. we'll create some videos going forward that'll kind of address some of those things that we see in the comment section. We'd also like it if you would give me some success stories. Somebody who's kind of come through this and on the other side. They're fun, they're funny, they're war stories. We've all been through it. Talk about how difficult it was, but then how you got past those. That's going to be just as helpful to some of the entrepreneurs that are starting these companies. Thanks again, and we look forward to sharing more with you next time.